Okay, so the wind noise on this video just absolutely devoured anything that I said. So just for this opening part, I'm doing the audio from home. Not that this is like terribly important, urgent or anything, but I went out to, this is 501 West 36th Street, and this is what is officially one of the last 4 CityBridge payphones out on the streets. I know that there are a lot more than 4, but I'm not going to tell them or anything. This location was under a scaffolding. It was a really bright sunny day, but I had some trouble with the lighting. Somebody smashed up the plexiglass on this side and as well and on the other side as well. You can see the little chips of the plexiglass. But I went in to check on this one and some others just because I thought they might have been off my radar. So there's nothing especially remarkable about this one. I think there's a bag of dog poop on one of the panels or one of the surfaces. It didn't smell particularly bad, but what can you say? Yeah, there's the dog poop. What New York City phone booth is complete, right? So I don't remember everything I said in this, but I just wanted to get some explanation for why there's no audio, because the wind noise is the voice of Satan, and wind noise absolutely devoured everything on this one. I think the rest of the video is fine on that basis. So I guess the rest of this clip is going to be silent because I can't think of anything else to say right now. So CityBridge claims there's only 4 of their phones left on the streets. I already know of at least 6 or 7 others that they claim to not be aware of. So those phones could be around for a very long time if they've slipped through the cracks, so to speak. And it wouldn't surprise me if I had actually captured that last one before. I just don't remember it now, but when I wade through my bazillions of photos I've taken, it really becomes kind of nauseating. Not to mention the videos. I mean, it's fun and everything, but sorting all that quantity is like, I don't know, makes me hyperventilate sometimes. Same as with other things that I've done. I just accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. And at this point I could go without ever creating another piece of content ever again, and I'd have enough to work with for the rest of my life. Not that I have any reason to, because I'm a working stiff. Next stop is 32nd Street off of 5th Avenue. A phone that I'm going to be surprised if it's really still there, because that's... well, we'll see. But next stop is 32nd Street off of 5th. Okay, so according to CityBridge, there is allegedly a specimen, at 10 West 32nd. So that should be over here. Just to iterate, this information comes from CityBridge. And look at this, I think they're right. I don't hate myself too much for missing this one. It's kind of holed away in this outdoor dining shack. That's real. Look at this. They had to build around it. They had to build their shack around the stubborn payphone. playing in the background, so I guess I've already committed my copyright infringement for the day. Alright. This one isn't a total disaster, but it is a bit of a mess. It's just so funny to see the shack built around it. You can sort of see the back of it there, but I don't want to get in. I'm going to think I want to eat. I think I want to dine, and I don't. This is a funny location. Okay, so this is not obviously an old city bridge. I just wanted to make sure this was still here, because this could be part of the piece we're working on. This is a beauty. No identifying info, but that does not look like it was a Verizon.
Try the Long Island Railroad City Ticket. You can travel between Zone 1 or Zone 3 stations for just $5 all week long. Buy your ticket using the MTA eTix app and learn more at nta.info/save.
This is a 33rd Street entrance to Penn Station I, II, III. 33rd and 7th Avenue. At the,
Hello. Do you want to save money on your subway ride? Use Omni. If you tap to ride 12 times with the same device or card, starting on Monday, every ride after that is free for the rest of the week. Learn more at nta.info/save, and thank you for riding with us.
this is at the Sbarro. So if you're looking for this, just look for the Sbarro on 7th Avenue. I wasn't going to go over here, but why not? This obviously is not, these are not CityBridge phones, but let's go down the A-hole.
Please watch your step and face forward at all times. Please hold on to the handrail or ride the escalator. Do not sit on the steps or the handrails. Baby strollers, push carts, and phone carts or similar devices are not permitted on the escalator. For your children's safety, do not allow them to play on or near the escalator. Attend to small children by holding their hand while riding.
Welcome to the Long Island Railroad Penn Station.
guess what? Someone's using it. Once again. People would use those things if they could. Still dead. Probably forever.
Track 19's down. Get right. Get. Just over to your left.
Platform attention.
Dead as the day is long. I was explaining to my friends that these girders, or whatever you call these things, were put in place to prevent shoulder surfing. When people used to make long-distance calls, they'd pay with credit card, and there'd be somebody standing nearby with binoculars or whatever, watching them punch the numbers in to the keypad. And they'd write down those numbers and then use them to make long-distance calls, and they'd resell the numbers. It's called the world of the payphone hustler. It was rampant for a long time. This is another one. This one has dial tone, but if you try to call anybody, you sound like R2-D2. So it's not useful, but it's not useful for that, but you can hit *10. This is what you'll hear. Okay, I don't know what that was. You can't. That went to a live person. I don't think it did last time. That was supposed to be the prayer line. Maybe it always went to the live person. I don't remember. I don't think it did though. I think it went to the pre-recorded. Yeah, I remember getting that on this one. Whatever. Oh, here you go. Never used to see this on the old billboards. Next two I do know about, and I have.
Oh, they're right there.
I have made video of these at least a few times.
It's gone full circle.
These are fully intact and not horrible condition. They don't even smell like this the way the others used to. That bread is hard as a brick. So these were on my radar, but that one on 32nd Street was not. And I guess the one on 36th Street wasn't either. So there's one other one they claim. And that one is up at Broadway and 84th, I think. And even though I didn't want to do this, I think I'm going to check on the booths again. Because my sources say that those phones actually work again. Every time I've been there in the last few years, you get sent to a thing that says somebody forgot to pay their Verizon wireless bill. Somebody told me that they work, but I asked her, did you actually try to make a call? And she said, well, no. She did hear dial tone, but last time I was out there, one of them had dial tone, but it just still didn't work. This is Central Park South and West Drive, where this food truck barricades this old clamshell. That's about as close as I'm going to get to it. This one might be used in my friend's art project. I forget if this was one of them. This is. That's the real story of this phone. I've been told, I haven't heard anything about this in a long time, but this, what was that called anyway? The New York something club, New York Sports Club, I guess. It's a gym for the incredibly wealthy. I haven't heard about it in a long time, but allegedly there were some old phone booths in there. I've never had the nerve to ask. New York Athletic Club, that's what it's called. But if they're not still there, they definitely used to be. Some old wood booths, but I've never felt that I'm in the class of these ultra wealthy, so I don't ask. You know, new friends will have the nerve to do it. So I'm headed over to the 1 train, and they put these wavy fences on this passage, and they stopped rolling trains through on this platform. There's supposed to be something here, Broadway and 83rd, unless they took it away very recently. Oh, there they are. Okay, these were off my radar. I don't get to the west side that often, so That's 83rd Street, just off of Broadway. So this one and the others that I got today, excluding the Penn Station ones, these are officially the last CityBridge phones on the street, with the exception of the West End Avenue phone booths, but those are going to be around for the duration. But I say officially because I know full well that there are a lot more than these four locations. There's the one I see every day down in Lower Manhattan. What's this? Oh, that's somebody's WIC card. Wow. Not much to see here, really. Not in horrible shape, but not really doing anything useful for anybody. So I am going to go over to West End and see what's happening with the rumored return to working order of the West End Avenue phones. So here I am, yet again. 101st Street, West End Avenue. Now, the story behind these booths, if you're just tuning in, is that this one at 101st is one of four along West End Avenue. The others are at 100th, 90th, and 66th Street. These are the last outdoor phone booths in New York. Although my mind sort of reels with possibilities. It's like, wait, is that really true? I guess it probably is. This is a Canadian-style booth that I saw a lot of in Montreal, and they brought this in to replace the old American Airlight booths. Why that is, I will never know, I suppose. But they were put out here as something of a gimmick, as a way to demonstrate that the smart city with its payphone of the future Link NYC machines that replaced virtually all the payphones. These booths were left as like a tribute to the role and the profile that the phone booths and the payphone have had in American life. New York didn't actually get its first outdoor phone booth until about 1959. We were behind the rest of the country in that respect. The reason I came out today is that I heard from sources that these phones actually work again. I think I was back here in January, and I'd been here a few times before that. None of these phones worked, and one of them even sent you to a message saying that somebody forgot to pay their Verizon bill. So I don't know what's going to happen when I pick up this phone. The other part of the gimmick about these is that local calls are supposed to be free. Long distance, which you still have to put coins in. That's why they didn't block the coin slot. So let's see if the smart city is doing its thing. Wow, dial tone. Believe it. Okay, this call better be free. Okay, she said thank you.
The other thing is
Okay, the phone is ringing, which is weird because it's not supposed to do that. This is supposed to go straight to the payphone radio. It's the same message as last time. Okay. Okay, so dial tone, that doesn't mean it works. This phone doesn't work. I don't know if I want to record that whole message again, because I did that one of the last times I was here. It says, you get a message that says, thank you for calling Verizon Wireless or something like that. Please hold while I transfer you to an external operator. And that's the message, which in a nutshell means somebody didn't pay their Verizon Wireless bill for this phone. So, dial tone be damned, this phone actually doesn't work. And I'll bet none of them do. If you want to complain about it, you can write to these guys. I'm sure they'll be all over it. You just can't put lipstick on that pig, man. How's this for investigative reporting? So here we are, 1 block down at 100th Street. There is dial tone, but let's see what happens.
There was an error in processing your call. Please power down and turn off your phone. Then turn your phone back on and try your call again.
So the gimmick with this was that calls were supposed to be free because as a show of unity with the rest of the Link NYC program or something like that. I remember I saw a bit about it on New York One, I think. And they were talking to people from CityBridge and from DoIT, the city agency that oversees these things. And I just watched this interview, and all I could think was, couldn't they have found somebody that knows something about payphones? Couldn't they have found some commentator who knew what they were talking about? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be so mean, but it's just one of those things. And it really doesn't make sense to me that West End Avenue would be the only area to get a working, what should be a working public telephone. It makes no sense. That happened to be where the last booths were. But I think virtually there should be at least one in every zip code. One working, always on, will survive in a blackout, that type of thing. These aren't going to be good for anything. I wonder if they can call 911. I don't really want to try that. You're not supposed to, but, well. So I'm going to try a few other things on this as long as I'm here. Whoa, that was a bee. The bee's coming after me. Okay, it's gone. Okay. Looks like they cleaned it recently with all this soapy residue. Nice dial tone. Yeah. This one says to deposit 25 cents for 3 minutes. This is supposed to be a free phone. Okay, so I deposited 25 cents. She said thank you. And now I'm waiting. Waiting. I hear a ringing sound. That's not a good sign. Yep.
Call and transfer to an external operator where you should be able to complete your call with a credit card, calling card, or via collect call. Announcement 10-11. Please hold while your call is transferred to an external operator where you should be able to complete your call with a credit card, calling card, or announcement 10. switch to 2-11.
Okay, I can't actually hear what's happening here, but I think she's saying that transferring to an external operator where you can complete your call using a credit card or you can make a collect call. I want to see if my quarter comes back. That's what I'm really interested in. No, you kept my quarter, you son of a bitch. That's bullshit. Seriously. Just try something. Like this is the ANI check. Or if you dial that number I just did, it's supposed to read back the number you're calling from. And I don't think it's going to happen. It's ringing, which it's not supposed to do. Yeah.
Please hold while your call is transferred to an external operator, where you should be able to complete your call with a credit card, calling card, or via collect call. Announcement 10, switch to 2-11. Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Please hold while your call is transferred to an external operator, where you should be able to complete your call with a credit card, calling card. Switch to 2-11. You are roaming. To call your carrier or any other.
Okay, I don't need to record that whole fucking thing, but that's obnoxious that you take my quarter when you don't even fucking work. Just more grist for the mill, right? I'll give it this much, it's in pretty damn good shape. I mean, looks like they clean it pretty well. Unlike some of the other CityBridge's remnants that I've been spotting, or, looking at over the last however long I've been doing this. Well, I've been doing this for 27 years, but I haven't started making videos until the last couple of years. So we got one more down on 66th Street. And I guess I might as well go check it out if I came all the way over here. That's pretty cool. That's right, I meant to keep an eye out for this. Rachmaninoff lived here from 26 to 43. I didn't realize he lived in New York that long. I do start to think sometimes that he was head and shoulders a greater composer for the piano than Chopin. But there's a discussion, there's an argument waiting to happen. But that's cool, Rachmaninoff lived here. This is actually the plaque I had in mind. It's on the same building. But, oh great, he wrote his 4th piano concerto here. Whoop-dee-flip-and-do. That's like his worst one. But when I say he was the better composer for the piano, I guess I should add he's the better composer for the modern piano. Chopin wrote for an instrument that wasn't hugely different from today, but it did have a different action. And you look at some of the tempo markings on his etudes especially, and you're like, how could anybody possibly play them that fast? And some have theorized that maybe his metronome was busted, or else maybe the action of his piano just allowed you to play that stuff at a much more rapid tempo. I don't know. But when I get my hands on Rachmaninoff, I feel like I'm dealing with a much stronger composer, physically stronger composer. And that's one of the reasons I kept with the instrument. It wasn't so much because I loved music. It's because of the visceral feeling and the body connection, the full body connection to the instrument. I'm thinking about it now. There is dial tone, but why? Why would they fix that and still not allow you to make a phone call? you can make a call, but you have to pay for it with credit card, or you have to call collect, which everybody does that today, right? Anyway, this is the last one on 66th. It's just on the other side of this bus stop. I'm not sure what else I should do to test it, but I mean, there's really nothing I need to do here. My work is finished, right? We do have dial tone, but don't get your hopes up. And that's the old number from a long time ago. No, this one wants 25 cents again. Okay, I'll be a sucker. Okay, well, at least it doesn't take my quarter. That's a great sound, by the way. I'll just amuse myself all day with the sound of a coin rushing through a payphone. Anyway, I guess I'm not going to be able to make any kind of call with this. If it's asking me for a quarter, I'm not taking it, then I'm out of luck. And so is anybody else that thinks this thing is supposed to work, because it is supposed to work. Oh, that's the end of this tour of the last 4 outdoor booths on West End Avenue. I guess they're a little bit famous, but I think they're famous for no good reason. And I've proven once again that they don't work. And that's in direct violation of the franchise agreement between CityBridge and the city. These 4 booths are supposed to be maintained and active 24/7. Look at this. One of my favorite things ever is the D-Tex watch clock station. And here's another style that I've never seen before. I'm not going to try to open it. This looks like a different kind that might set off an alarm or something. That's pretty cool. This one's called the Watchman's Station, the Watchman. They've got a likeness of the British Guards, whatever they're called. The Bobbies, is that what they're called? That's pretty cool. That's old. If this library was open, I'd go upstairs. There were, I think, a couple of phones left up on the 3rd floor. But I haven't been in here since before the pandemic, so I don't know if they're gone. This is where I had my illustrious New York City premiere. I played a number of concerts here at the Bruno Walter Auditorium. Many good memories of this place. They also had some phone booths downstairs, but those have been gone a long time. Now look at this. It's not a little free library, but it's the same spirit. The Library for the Performing Arts gives away books. None today. That's all right. It's not a book, but it'll keep you as entertained like it was one. I wonder what ends up in here. I wonder if they give away any good music scores. I've stayed blissfully unaware of things like this, but I guess Juilliard is probably still considered a magic word in the music business, meaning if you got a degree here, you can basically write your own ticket in the business. It's rarely does a day go by that I don't feel a sense of relief that I got out of that career. had enough of a career to make me realize I never really wanted one to begin with. I've seen a few concerts here. There was supposed to be a full performance of Sbarro's Opus Clavicembolisticum. It was going to be played by a relay of Juilliard pianists, but most of them bailed out. It's not that hard a piece, really. I mean, if you break it down into digestible chunks, but I was actually kind of stoked to see it. I did end up seeing it live at, I guess it was Merkin. Jonathan Powell. Just a superhuman, unbelievable power that guy has to just play absolutely anything. And that's the front entrance. Well, that's the Beaumont Theater. What's it called again? The Beaumont, the Clairteau, the Newhouse Theater. Trying to remember his name, but one famous writer held court there for a long time and then eventually killed himself. Can't remember his name now. You gotta be careful with these things, they'll bite your finger off. Oh, what was his name? That's gonna bother me. I'm sure anybody hearing me say this knows what I'm talking about. Not anybody, but somebody. Monster in a Box was I think the show he was doing here for a long time. Spalding Gray, that's what it was. I don't think I was going to remember that. I had to look it up. Spalding Gray, he's held court at one of those theaters for a long time. I've seen a bunch of operas here. I really love the chandeliers. What the hell is that? There are some phones in here, some payphones downstairs. And I think they might still work. I haven't checked on those in a long time. How's that for a perfectly aligned shot? I hear somebody with a loudspeaker or a megaphone or something.
Right there, diamonds. It was diamonds, right? I look at diamonds right there. Oh, look at the guy, he's got the puppy now. Lick him, puppy.
That's a little weird. Dude just standing there with a loudspeaker narrating what is happening right in front of him. That's... Okay, I think there's a phone in this station that I wanted to look at because I don't remember if I've ever done a video of this one. It was really beat up and gnarly. This station also has a very weird what do you call it? Characteristic. I was in this station once and I needed to connect from, I think it was a downtown E to a downtown B or D. And at this juncture, those two trains are actually going the different direction. And I almost missed the train because I didn't believe what I was seeing. I don't remember if this one was on this level or downstairs. Wow, I wonder if that's where it was. I know it was on this side. And maybe this was it. Maybe this big slab of metal is where the payphone used to be. I'll go downstairs. I see it. Yeah, it's not that bad. And not as bad as I remember it. It's not going to be doing any good for anybody. Well, now it will. Oh, I thought that train was approaching here. It's upstairs. Just left this one behind. Oh, that looks like a vestige of the we need more payphones person. Because that was always the size sticker that they used. That sucker's dead and ain't coming back. It's funny, I guess I was already here earlier. one of the newer elevators for the 57th. During COVID, they put in, I think, like 12 new elevators. Maybe not that many, but they put in a bunch of new elevators throughout the system. And this is one of the new ones. Actually, I should look that up and make sure I'm right. But I think this is one of the new ones. I missed the train by taking the elevator. Well, what's my damn hurry? Lead switch. When you really need to save a couple of letters.
Beach Street.